Betty Broderick died today. And it's crazy because literally I was watching her court testimony today, or listening to it anyway, while I was cleaning my pool, because I just find that story so fascinating. I think what really draws most people in about Betty Broderick is that she was such a scorned woman. Like, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Hell had no fury like Betty Broderick. If you're unfamiliar with her story, she was married to Dan Broderick, and he went to medical school. They met in college. He went to medical school and got his degree to practice medicine. And like, she stayed with him through all of that. They ended up getting married. They had kids. She took like a very low paying teaching job to help support their family while he was in med school, while she was also taking care of their kids. Then he, becomes a doctor, and then he decides, you know what, I want to go get my law degree. So then he goes to law school. Meanwhile, she is still maintaining this household, paying for everything. And then finally he starts making money, and like kind of the tables start turning again, and he can actually support them. And he opens up a law firm, and I don't know if it's like 20 or 25 years into their marriage, he hires this cute blonde secretary, Linda Colkina, and he makes a comment at a Christmas party that, oh, she's beautiful. And Betty heard him say this. And that was like the first time that she was like, her, red flag started going up. And she asked him multiple times, like over the course of months, if anything was going on with Linda Colkina. And he kept telling her like, no, you're crazy. You're imagining things, yada, yada, like gaslighting her, gaslight level expert. Okay. And she would believe him and like forgive him. But then he just started like pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. Finally, she finds out because it's his birthday. She dresses up. She goes to his office to give him a birthday present, like over lunch. And he's not there. He had gone out to lunch with Linda Colkina, but they had left this big mess in his office. He was usually very clean and tidy and organized, and there was like confetti and drinking glasses and cake and like just all this like random evidence of a party. But when Betty asked one of the other ladies in the office like who this party was, she said it was just Linda and Dan. And so that was like one of the last straws to break the camel's back, if you will. And she just knew. So that was essentially the end of their marriage. And then their divorce was one of the most contentious divorces in La Jolla history. It was vicious. And of course, he is an attorney, so he's got all these like law people backing him up and helping him through this. And she has nothing because he's left her with literally a negative bank account, and he's making her live in this house that's infested with rats. Like, she really... It sucks because even though she was the one to support them through all of his schooling, when he started making money again, she had nothing to her name anymore. No purpose, no job, nothing. And so she found herself in the same position that a lot of women find themselves in when they're leaving an abusive marriage, whether it's emotional abuse or physical abuse. A lot of these women fear leaving because they don't know how they're going to get out of it or how they're going to be able to support themselves and or their children. And Dan was very controlling in that way. He was very arrogant and kept that money. Anyway, fast forward. What ends up happening, and I can go like deeper in depth if you want like a more detailed story. I covered this on my podcast, but they end up getting married, and Betty one night breaks into their house and kills them both. She was convicted. She actually had a jury trial, which I thought was interesting because obviously she did it. But I think they were trying to argue that this was like a crime of passion and not like a premeditated murder. But regardless, she was convicted and sentenced to, I think it might have been life in prison, but regardless, whatever, she died today in prison. So sad story. I just can't believe that I was literally listening to her testimony today, and then I see that she freaking died. That's sad.